backup and auditing system. So as you see from my first slide, I'm going to talk about a philosophy which is touching our lives. And Mr. Ranjan, I think you mentioned this morning about the need of amalgamation of technology with the human mind. So that's exactly what I'm going to speak about, and my dear friend Mr. Ramchandran as well knows what this technology is capable of doing. So CCTV by itself is not enough. And we are saying it's a harsh statement to make, but this is a very harsh reality. And we are saying that either you audit CCTV, audit, or continue to suffer. Because we are seeing cameras go up everywhere in the world, but crime is not coming down in the same proportion, which means there is something wrong. Are we seeing what the cameras have seen? This is a very important thing, and I'm going to therefore take you through a few slides. And it's rather late in the year to say Happy New Year to you, right? So I'm not going to say Happy New Year to you, but this is what 6 robbers said to the branch manager at a bank in Agra on the 1st of January. On the 1st of January, they went to the bank. 4 of them put a gun on the branch manager's head, took away 27 lakh of rupees, took away the recorder, and they had the cheek of giving the branch manager a Happy New Year card. The police has still not been able to solve this case, and I don't blame them. 3 high-profile incidents, something to think about. Let's talk about the Pathankot attack. It was a big attack. And all of you are from law enforcement here. Surely, a lot of planning and recce's must have been conducted before this attack was even thought of. After the attack, the police and the army realized that there were 11 petrol pumps in the route of the terrorists that had cameras. 11 of them. Some of the cameras were not working. And my question to you is that if there was a recce that was conducted over many, many months, how come nobody realized in spite of having cameras? Simple. Nobody checks. Had somebody checked what has been happening as a standard operating procedure, somebody would have observed suspicious movements. No alert system in the world is going to be able to give you this, and I'll talk about this a little later. Second high-profile case is about our minister in Delhi, Mrs. Irani. Unfortunate incident in Goa. The camera was not at fault. The camera was at its right place. The perpetrator of the crime simply changed the angle of the camera to, instead of looking here, it started looking in the changing room. So of what use is that camera if nobody is going to find out as to what has the camera been captured? For 1 year this kind of recording took place, and it was only when Mrs. Irani realized this that a hue and cry was raised and the people got arrested. 1 year. Take the case of the corporate espionage case in the petroleum ministry. Happened in Delhi, I think, last year. Big command and control center in this particular petroleum ministry. Yet secrets were stolen. How? Very simple. They bribed the operator. So what did the operator do? Every day, every night when these people wanted to come in, he just put off the cameras. When they photocopied and took away the secrets, the cameras were put on, and this went on for 1 month. So for 1 month, secrets were going out of the petroleum ministry. and किसी को कुछ पता नहीं चला. So my question is, what use are these cameras if they are not going to be of help? Two cases, one in Delhi again, about a month and a half ago, a little kid died in a school in Delhi, fell into a water tank and died. The school was covered with cameras. Still, the child lost his life. We hear about these rape cases at schools day in and day out. Big schools, international schools, all having cameras. Yet these things are taking place. So there is something wrong. There is something wrong in a philosophy. There is something wrong in thinking. There is something that we are missing. I believe there are thousands and thousands of cameras that are going to be added in Delhi. There are 6,000 cameras that the Bombay police has not completed, but it took them 8 years to put 6,000 cameras. Just 6,000 cameras, 8 years. My question to you is, are 6,000 cameras enough for a city like Mumbai? Or are 5,000 cameras enough for a city like Delhi? Certainly not. So people will talk to you about city surveillance. People will talk to you about command and control centers. People will talk to you about bringing all the video feed in a command and control center. Doesn't anybody think about one simple thing? How is the officer or the constable who is watching hundreds of cameras, where is he going to get the situational awareness from? How does he know what is right and what is wrong? All you are doing is increasing the expense. You are bringing in video feeds to one central location, and you are doing it for the sake of doing it. It is not effective by its own. And hasn't anybody heard about video blindness? A CCTV operator becomes 45% video blind in 12 minutes and 90% video blind in 22 minutes. So what is he watching? You think he or she is watching, and you think that there are going to be alerts. But if you just open, after my talk, if you just look at this little brochure that's in your delegate kit, you will see instances of exceptions that no camera or no video solution can give you in the world. What we are doing is relying too much on video analytics, and we have forgotten the value of human analytics. Join video analytics and human analytics together and see the magic that you will create. You have 5,000 cameras being fitted by the government here. You have 6,000 cameras, as I mentioned, in Mumbai. But I'm saying that there are probably 500,000 cameras already in Delhi and Mumbai. 500,000, maybe million, who knows? Because every housing society has cameras, every establishment has cameras, every store has cameras, every jewelry shop has cameras, every bank has cameras. If everybody starts auditing, they become the extra eyes for the police. It's a simple solution. You know, the funny part is some states in India have a law that if you have X number of footfalls at an establishment, cameras are compulsory. But there is no law that the camera has to be working. Mr. Ramchandran, should we not be doing something basic? Should we not be making auditing as a standard operating procedure for all? If you can make a law that aap camera lagaiye, you should make a law that your camera should be working, that you should be looking at what the cameras have seen. Make that a law. Government should think about giving tax breaks to companies who do that, because this is how community policing will happen. Otherwise, 5 years later, another 100 conferences later, we will still be talking about the same thing. So moral of the story is, CCTV by itself is not going to be enough.
and I'm propagating only three simple things. One, audit CCTV daily as a standard operating procedure. Backup CCTV smartly, not just make it into a 1-year backup and put it in the cloud. That is not smart backup. Smart backup is you should also be able to find it when you need it. That is smart backup. And you should report incidents in a standardized format, which is something I had made a presentation to Interpol, that incidents don't differ by geography. An incident in Delhi is not different from an incident in Mumbai or in Boston. Then why should incident reports be different? So we should standardize it. So let's ask ourselves one very basic question. If you are convinced that we should audit CCTV, let's ask ourselves a question that why doesn't anybody audit CCTV? It's very simple, it's very difficult to do so. How can you sit for 24 hours and see what has happened? That is why people think that, oh, we'll look at our CCTV if something goes wrong. But because something has not gone wrong, it doesn't mean it didn't go wrong. It could also mean that it was not discovered. And that discovery will happen when you audit. Audit by itself is a post facto incident. It's a post facto exercise. But it's a very powerful exercise. Look at our country. Through auditing, we've discovered so many scams. Even if it happened, we got to know about them 2 years later, but they were discovered. So that's the same thing about CCTV. If you audit even once a day, once in every 2 days, once in every 3 days, please check what the cameras are seeing. Because once you check, you will begin to discover so many things that you'll be amazed. So why doesn't anybody audit? 2 reasons. 1, very difficult to do so. 2, nobody's thought of it. Now, if there is technology available, and that is what we are showing here, that you can audit 24 hours of video in as little as 24 minutes. I'm sure you will do it. I'm sure there will be a reason to do it. Just make it simple for people to do it, and people will start doing it.
Yes, sir. Hello?
Why is this kind of a technology needed now?
Coming some.
We are living in dangerous times. You know, after the Peshawar attack, the Pakistan army was sent to guard the school when the school reopened. After the Paris attacks, 10,000 policemen were deployed to guard 700 Jewish schools. My question is, how long will the police or the army be able to do it? Each stakeholder has to get involved, himself or herself, to add to policing. Each stakeholder. It cannot be, it will never work if you only say that policing is, the job of law enforcement. Yes, certain parts can be done by the police. But if people do not get involved, you will never get effective policing. After the Pathankot attack, there have been enough advisories that airports, stations, malls, offices, they are all sitting ducks. And we all know that. Just start looking, and a lot of these things you will begin to discover and be able to take preventive and preemptive action, pre-warn the police before something goes wrong. So what is the solution? What are we? We are a software. We work with every camera. We work as a layer over any video feed. Whether that video feed comes from your CCTV cameras, whether the video feed comes from your body-worn cameras, whether the video feed comes from drones, we will work. We convert the video into screenshots and store them at a remote location. So even if your command and control center is destroyed by a terrorist, it doesn't matter. You will still have backup. So essentially, what we do is, and what we are saying is, that any video surveillance system should give you these 3 outcomes. 1, crime and loss prevention. 2, improvement of processes. And 3, faster solving of crime. By adopting a technology like this, you will be able to achieve this. at these signs. That's another thing that we've never thought of. You know, you'll see various, just Google this, CCTV signs. You'll find 500 of them. Different colors, different shapes, different messages. How about having a sign that's something like this? One standard sign across the country. One standard sign across the world. See the difference in the messaging. It says, we check CCTV every day, period. Very, very powerful thought, very, very powerful message. It's a message that will hit the perpetrator, potential perpetrator, a lot more than saying that, oh, you are under video surveillance. Well, big deal. Even if you are under video surveillance, crime is still taking place. Change this and see the effect. So finally, before I come to the end of my slides, I'd like to make an announcement here that as a social responsibility, our company is giving away this software, this technology for free to all places of worship across the world. So for those of you who'd like to come and talk to us about your states, you know, in our country, if there is one attack at one place of worship, the repercussions can be across the country and repercussions can be across the world. So if this technology can help any place of worship across the world, we will consider ourselves blessed and we're very happy to give the technology per se for free. ComSir for the police. For all of those who are from the police forces, you will find a booklet like this in the delegate kit. We will bring in huge amount of standardization and efficiency for you. Huge amount of standardization. We will reduce your burden in your day-to-day operations. We all know that in India, every state decides on its policing requirements and policing laws. But when it comes to standardization, when it comes to efficiency, why are we trying to reinvent? We can at least have one common platform, like you all work with Windows or you all work with Microsoft Office. Let's have one common platform. So from law and order to chain snatching to bomb blast to prison management to traffic to quick sharing of photos of criminals, the software will bring in huge amount of efficiency. Speaking about bomb blast, you know, when the Boston bomb blast and the Toronto riots took place, the police and different agencies had to go through thousands and thousands of hours of video to be able to catch the perpetrators. So whether it's a small chain snatching case or it's a case of a bomb blast, the police has to solve both. Running out of time? Yeah, okay. Last slide. The police has to solve both. So therefore there should be a mechanism that can make things easy. Please read this and then you can come and take a look at what we are showcasing. When you get information, let's say from Interpol about the potential threat in our country, why should the format be different? Let everybody have the same format. All you need is a picture. Interpol may send you these pictures with English, but in Kerala, the poor man, the constable on the road may not be able to read English. He should be able to write it in Malayalam. In Punjab, he should be able to read it in Punjabi. In Gujarat, it should be in Gujarati. Now, if the software is able to deliver this in a Word document or in a PowerPoint document, the format will remain the same. And there is standardization, because if Punjab police sends it to Delhi police, at least let it go in one standard format. ComSir, I'm very happy to say, is proudly made in India. It's a completely indigenous product which we built over the last 4 years in Mumbai. So that's a great thing for our country, that we would be able to afford, we would be able to give this product to the world. That should be our dream. Conclusion, let's act now. Let's not wait for things to go wrong. Thank you very much. Please do visit our booth. We'll be very happy to show you. Happy to take questions. Thank you so much.